Hello everyone! In today's video, I'm going to be recapping and giving my thoughts on episode 4 of The Tale of the Nine-Tailed. And I gotta say right off the bat, if you are looking for a spooky October Korean drama show to start watching for the season, this is definitely the one to check out. It is very spooky, but it's also just an amazing Korean drama, and Lee Gond-wook is just blowing me away in it. I mean, I'm not surprised, but yeah, overall I have been loving this series, and episode 4 just like took it up a level. My review on this series, I was like, it's up here, the other dramas are down here. Well, it just went up several notches that you can't even see because it's getting cut off by the camera. That's how high up it is for me right now. I am loving this series, and episode 4 just is making me more excited for what's to come. The pacing has been absolutely amazing. The mix of drama, action, comedy, the character Yeon that Lee Gond-wook plays is just phenomenal, and we get to see him shirtless in this episode. I enjoyed seeing more of his character in this episode and learning more about him. And I think that both of them as a couple really grew. I mean, there were some big questions answered in this episode, specifically about the fox pearl and why, even though Ji-ha is so much like her, and even like the mannerisms, the things she's doing that he's noticing, he's still not sure if it's her or not because she doesn't have the fox pearl. Like, where did it go? Well, that big question is definitely answered in this episode. You know, I was having the same feelings as Yeon. I was just like, it has to be her. The only missing piece is this frickin' pearl. Where's this frickin' pearl? Like, it has to be somewhere. But I love how they discover the pearl and why he wasn't able to detect or find the pearl within her whenever he did that little smoky glowy thing that would like go, I think it was going into her mouth or something, because it's supposed to be in her body, but yes, it's in her body, but not exactly like inside of her. It's inside of her. I mean, obviously it's inside of her, but it's in a place that he can't access. It's harder to access it. I'm trying to explain it without spoiling it. Ugh. Loved that whole story arc as well as the other characters. I'm really enjoying the sort of growing romance between Yuri and Shin Hyo. And you also learn a little more about Yuri and how she is a rich heiress. So there is something happening there that I'm sure is going to be part of Yi Rang's plan eventually. I mean, he placed her there for a reason, so I'm sure that there's something going on there. So the episode starts out with them still in the island, and most of the beginning part of this series is them trying to figure out what happened to the people. They're sort of connecting it to another disappearance that happened in North Carolina, which we have Americans know about that. That was it Roanoke? So the first half of the series is pretty much them trying to figure out what happened on the island, getting off the island, and then in episode 3, Yeon did kill a human. And so eventually he has to go face Talupa and kind of explain himself and be reprimanded for killing a human that he wasn't supposed to kill. And in between all this, we see the two lead characters growing closer together, flirting with each other. Ji-ha says that she wants to get to know him better, and you know, this is when he starts noticing all these different mannerisms and things that she says are exactly like his lost love. He starts to think that maybe she is the reincarnation of her, but he still can't find the fox bead, and that's really what's keeping him from completely believing that it's her. But I mean, whether he believes it or not, you can tell in how he treats her that there is that connection there, and she feels it too, I think, and wants to see what happens there. So when Yeon has to go face his punishment for killing the shaman, he gives her these sort of protective beads because he's worried about leaving her. So he gives her like a little sack of red beans that I think were as old as her, which is supposed to protect her, if I understood the subtitling, and I thought that was really cool. There's also some very strange things happening with the crew that she works with at the TV station and the show that she works on. After getting off the island and everything and all this research, Jia finally goes to visit her friend at the funeral since she's been in mourning all this time, and they have a very sweet moment there. Like, Jia's character is just growing on me more and more in this show, as well as Yeon, but Jia's character is just amazing to me. She's so smart, but also sensitive and strong, and it's just great to see a powerful female lead. And of course, Rang shows up and sabotages the lucky charm that's supposed to be protecting her. Pretty much the end of the episode is Yeon being punished, which means he is shirtless and tied up in a cold, snowy mountain, which I guess is supposed to be a circle of hell, because he's being tied up in this circle of hell, but he also has to live as a mortal for 7 days. So he's technically there for 7 days, but because that's the circle of hell, it feels like longer. I can't remember if it was 7 years or 700 years or, you know, a freaking long time. That's all we need to know, okay? And he's still, though, able to be connected to Jiha. I don't think that is explained, but he knows when Jiha gets in trouble. And so he calls out to Lupa, and I guess they make some sort of deal that, like, he would rather go through this other trial that I guess is a little faster, but he could possibly die from it, and instead of finishing his 7 days in this snowy, cold mountain, tied up, also shirtless. So Jia's running away from these ghosts. Now, the thing about this new punishment, which I guess is crossing Dosan or Ninth Mountain Bridge, at least that's how it was translated. The worry there is he still is living as a mortal or human. So he's having to cross this bridge already human, so he's going to feel pain, he's not going to heal quickly, and he's already been serving his punishment and kind of, you know, hungry, tired, like not in good shape. But he does it anyway to get back to Jiha as quickly as possible. So that was pretty epic. So then pretty much that last half of the episode was just watching Yeon slowly cross this bridge while also seeing what's going on with Jia and the creepy ghosts. And then at the end is when it comes to a head. But here's the thing. He was able to get out of hell sooner, but he still has to stay mortal for 7 days. So he just sort of like, I don't know how to describe it. He catches her because she's falling from a building, but he just kind of like, you know, just kind of saves her. And then obviously he is near death. He is dying in Jia's arms. And that's where we've discovered where the fox pearl has been this whole time. Pretty exciting. So big revelations happen in this episode, and I'm blown away. I'm just so excited for episode 5, especially because in episode 3, we had that very strange moment in the forest where it seemed like her past reincarnated self sort of took over her present self's body and was sort of trying to kill Yeon. And we see that whole flash that it seemed like maybe he killed her. Very interesting, because now it seems like she's going to be sort of awakened. We've discovered the fox pearl, so Yeon knows it's her, and she kept her promise to him, which that was just so romantic. Like, the ending was so beautiful. And I feel like the pacing of it is perfect. I am so glad that they didn't like stretch it out, but I don't think that they're going to immediately start being extra lovey-dovey, but I am excited to see the upcoming kiss with present Jiha. Like, we got the kiss of the past lovers. Let's get the kiss of the present lovers, shall we? Super excited. Absolutely loved this episode, and highly recommend you watch it, especially for Halloween. Children in scary horror movies are the worst for me, and there were 2 children ghosts in this episode. Really, really creepy. And then this baby has talismans like stuck on it. Why? To contain it or something, or hide it? I'm also wondering if those talismans are meant to hide the child from Talupa or even from Yeon. And the Imugi seems to be connected to the death of his lost lover. So that baby is frightening, and the little eye opening up, I was not a fan. That scared the poop out of me. I think that's all I have to say. Hopefully I didn't forget anything. If I did, I apologize. I wanted to get this out quicker, so I didn't fully script it. I made some notes, but that's really it. If you are watching the series and have seen episode 4, what was your favorite scene down below? They had a lot of shirtless Dong-wook in this episode, and the only thing that I kind of found funny, Jiha, she is being slowly pushed off a building by these creepy ghosts. And Yeon is, as quickly as possible, trying to cross this knife bridge where he's getting stabbed and cut and just has to keep going. And he gets to her just in the nick of time, okay? Like, in my mind, he's crossed that bridge and he just sort of uses his magic powers or something from hell to just shoot him into the place where Jia is to catch her, okay? This is what I'm imagining. How did shirtless with those really comfy, like khaki-like pants, then get a shirt and I think another pair of pants? It might have been the same pair, but the fact is he's dressed. He's dressed now after he has saved Jia. So now I'm imagining, okay, so he had some time between crossing the knife bridge to maybe put a shirt on and maybe fix his hair a little bit, do a little prepping, but still bleeding. Why? Why couldn't he have just been shirtless and saved her? My only thought is when they were actually filming, it was cold out and he was just like, can I just wear a shirt and we'll just make that seem like a magical thing? You know, that's just part of when you leave hell, you get a free shirt. I don't know. I think I was just like, why couldn't he have just caught her shirtless and bloody? Like, I think is that like too much for television? Maybe it is, I don't know. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching and listen to me ramble about episode 4 of The Tale of the Nine-Tailed. If you like this video and think it would motivate someone you know to start watching this series, please share this video with them. Give me a like if you enjoyed it, and if you're new and just discovered this channel and you're like, what's going on here? Subscribe and click the little bell to be notified when my next video is up. Right now, I am obsessed with the show, and until I'm no longer obsessed, I will be sharing my thoughts and opinions about it. So thank you so much for watching. Bye. Boa. No, Jiha. Okay, it is Jiha. And I gotta say right off the bat, if you like, this just won't, oh, it's happening. This is absolutely blown away.